not one, but two baby update. Baby Miya and this baby. I went to the clinic this morning to get all my tests done, and during my NST, this baby passed before she even walked out of the room. This baby moves and grooves all the time. So that's great. We love an active baby. And then during my ultrasound, they told me that they weren't measuring for growth, that they were only measuring, looking for breathing patterns, measuring amniotic fluid, and movement. Baby passed again, 10 out of 10. Love it. Get into my appointment with my OB, and I told her, I am concerned with the drop in the baby's, measurements. And she told me, look at it this way. You have 100 babies that are all due on the same day. Out of those 100 babies, somebody's got to be in the 100%, somebody's got to be in the 10%, somebody's got to be 1%. There's always going to be a baby that is at one of the percentages. That doesn't mean that your baby is unhealthy or there's something wrong. And my baby passed all the tests that were necessary. Basically, I told her that I was really nervous, that for my next appointment, that I could come in and the baby could be at 3 to 1% and they're going to send me upstairs. She said, no. If that baby is still reading as good as it does, Dopplers look great, heart rate looks great, amniotic fluid looks great, movement looks great, baby's practicing breathing, she goes, we still wouldn't take out baby. Unless something randomly happens, either I go into spontaneous labor, something happens with the cord where baby's movement is slower or anything like that, then of course, but that's all average, normal risks. But I was confused because I was told that Miya was in the 1%, which is why they had to take her out at 36 weeks and some change. I don't remember exactly. But that's why I had to be induced, even though I was really hoping to go into natural labor and go for a VBAC. And for those who don't know, my failed VBAC ended up in a uterus rupture with Miya being in the NICU for a week. And obviously I had to have an emergency C-section. So that's why I'm having a scheduled C-section this time around at 36 weeks and 2 days because I can't go full term. I can't risk going full term, going into natural labor, the contractions. I have a high risk of bursting, to say the least. So I was just really confused because I thought that was the whole reason why I got induced with Miya, was that she was at 1%. So my wonderful, wonderful OB that I have right now, she was like, well, let's just look back at, the chart and see where she was at. Come to find out, I think I was given some misinformation or information was left out. And I don't want to go into too much detail, but to say the least, if I knew what I read, I wouldn't have been induced with Miya. I would have waited. But the information that I was given, I didn't think I had a choice. And I feel like I wasn't given the whole story and was given some misinformation, and it's a little upsetting because I feel like even if I gave my body longer, maybe I wouldn't have ruptured. And to know that I could have potentially avoided all of that is kind of upsetting. It's crappy. But I also know that I still got very lucky and I was able to keep my uterus and have another healthy baby. And Miya is healthy and has no outstanding, health issues, and everything is okay. But to know that I feel like I had a choice and I wasn't given all the information to make the choice for myself is, that's hard. That is hard, because I definitely would have opted to have waited longer. To say the least, if you ever have issues and they want you to be induced early or whatever, always get all the information that you can. Read your own charts. Ask to read the doctor's notes, the corresponding notes, and do your own research, because you are not given all the information all the time. Especially with like Aurora. Like, if I knew what I knew about IUGR now, I wouldn't have been induced with Aurora. And if I wasn't induced, being a first-time mom, then I probably wouldn't have ended up having a C-section. I could have tried to go more naturally. And with Miya, I mean, I knew I was gonna probably have to be induced with her, but if I got the whole story and got the right information told to me, then I would have been able to make that choice, which I would have said no to being induced. And I feel like that was taken away from me due to me putting 100% trust and faith into the doctors that I had at the time. And I feel like I was kind of done wrong. And as a result of being induced in other circumstances, by the way, this is not me shaming a VBAC. If you can have a VBAC, shoot for your VBAC. I say go for it. Mine is just different circumstances. But I feel like maybe I wouldn't have ruptured. That is done. That is over with. It is out of my control. There is nothing that can be changed regarding the situation. The only thing that I can do now is look forward and knowing that even if this baby's small, it don't matter, because this baby is moving and grooving perfectly, and I will not be going any earlier. I just grow small babies, and that's okay. I feel relieved. I feel like she was super informative. She was super reassuring. She answered all my questions perfectly. I got 4 weeks left. Steven is a sucker. He cries every time. Every time we have the babies, he cries. And so, since we don't know what the gender is, I'll be really excited to see his reaction. But when it comes to his babies, this man turns into the biggest teddy bear. Not exactly the update I thought I was going to be giving, but overall, I'm pretty pleased. I'm not going to lie. Mama was anxious, okay? I was a little nervous going into this appointment. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I will not be having any more babies after this. Steven's getting snipped.